In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie Q. I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button on your way in while you're sitting here. If you hear something interesting, if you would like to help me reach my goal is to give you some information that you may not have already been aware of. Hey, Barn Dog. Hey, Jay Parrish. It is good to see you guys. Um, Also, do not forget on tomorrow at 3 p.m. right here, I will be giving my 4th annual Secret Santa giveaway to whom? The subscribers, where the content creators, whoever wants to give back to you in this 4th annual Secret Santa, where this is where the content creators give back to the subscribers. If they show up here, they will come up here, and in the vein of a traditional Christmas, the content creators will choose names amongst each other. And then they will have to cash app the person whose name they have chosen between $30 and $50. However, they are not allowed to keep the gift that has been cashed out to them. You know, Secret Santa, you pull names and you exchange gifts. Our gifts will be between $30 and $50. However, we cannot keep those gifts. We then have to give our gift to someone who is in the chat, putting their cash up in the chat. This is the way I have it set up. There is no pot. Every content creator comes out of their own pocket between $30 and $50, and when they exchange their prize, they must then what? Pay it forward. Pay it to the subscribers who support us all year long. So I hope you guys come out tomorrow. It's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be noon Pacific Standard Time. So if Ronnie Q's the only one here, Ronnie Q will definitely be here. So I hope to see you as well. Okay, so uh, that is the Secret Santa portion of the show. Now let's get into this news. Now, we know that 4547 and his unqualified Department of Defense, Pete Kegbreath, um, have told like 5 million different lies about this boat strike, and only to well, I found out last night before I went to bed, only to find out that Kegbreath has done another boat strike, and these Christian nationalists, these white nationalists, or as they want to call themselves now, Christian nationalists. This is why I really want you to understand that Christian part of the nationalists is a bunch of BS. So we understand that they want us to believe that Charlie Kirk and the Turning Point USA is such a Christian, and they love God and they're such Christians. Well, it seems like someone in the Turning Point USA, they lead with their Christianist beliefs. Someone from Turning Point USA uh, says something to Hegseth about you should hit another boat. And do you know what Hegseth said? Let's see what Hegseth said about they should strike another boat. Let me share this with you. This is your Department of Defense. Let me share this. Quite disgusting.
Regime is in panic mode. He's been posting on social media
Up a little too fast. Here we go.
photos of himself from 1983 at Studio 54 with horses behind him, club with everything that the American people are dealing with right now, with Trump's destruction of our economy, with over 1.1 million jobs that were lost this year, with inflation surging. This is what you're doing. You're making posts like this. I want to go on and show you what else Donald Trump is doing. I just want to give you a reminder. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can. You may think you're subscribed to this channel, but just go and double check. We're trying to get to 6 million subscribers, and you know we're under attack by the Trump regime and by state regime media, which calls itself Fox. So please, if you can support us, I would be so grateful. And the best way you can do that is by subscribing to our YouTube channel right now. As Donald Trump continues to panic,
Yes, please go over and subscribe to the Midas Touch. They do great commentary. This link is going to be link number 1 in my description box. Let's see what uh, Kegbreath had to say to these fake ass white supremacists who are are sullying the word Christian. After yesterday, after he rolled over on a admiral, well, the admiral allowed himself to be rolled on over on because at General Halsey said, "Fuck this! I'm not doing any of your dirty work." So what was that dude's name? General whatever, found his silly ass going in, taking account for murder. It is not a war crime because the United States is not in a war. Straight out murder. And they try to justify their murderous actions. Okay, let's see what he had to say.
He continues to attack the Somalian population. He's called the Somalian population total garbage. He's come up with the most racist and horrific statements about Somalian people. That's absolutely horrific. Also, Donald Trump announced.
Okay, so this administration is a full mask off. in their racism. Why are they full mass off in their racism? Because the polls are so low. Because the prices are so high. Because the Epstein files are so hidden. So, what is the last thing he can do to attract his base? Is the blatant racism. Because are we not clear that those dog whistles that he sent out to his base all these years is not the thing that the glue that holds MAGA together? Oh, so now that everything that they put him in the White House to do, he has done none of those things and has started to rob the Treasury of the United States of America while his base is sitting up there wondering why I didn't mean this to happen to me. I didn't vote for this. Well, the only thing he has for you is his ass to kiss and some disgusting racist remarks. That's why they have gone full racism, in my opinion. Let's continue.
That he would be lifting sanctions on the Russian multinational energy company Luke Oil. So you know how Donald Trump said, we're thinking about imposing secondary sanctions on Russia. Nope. Not only is the Trump regime
He's going to end the war. Oh, no, that wasn't a 28 plan written specifically by Russia that we were demanding that Zelensky take. Now he's going to release sanctions on their oil. I'm Vladimir has me very angry. I'm gonna do something. I may increase sanctions. I may increase. He's releasing sanctions on Russian oil. You know, the same 45, 47 that had your troops on hands and knees rolling out the red carpet to Putin when he met him in Alaska. Did you think that that didn't tell you anything right there? Did that not tell you anything right there? Uh, 45, 47 would allow Putin to invade America if enough money and security was in it for him and who he chose to have secure. And it would not be you. It would not be you MAGA goons out there who he's sending fund fundraiser emails and mailers to trying to pick your pocket totally and completely. Why is 45, 47 sending you letters, desperate letters about he needs your help? 25, 50, 100, 700, 500. What can you spare? If we are living in the golden age, why is he steadily sending out fundraiser mailers to you, who he doesn't give a fuck if you have health care? Let's continue.
Not imposing secondary sanctions against Russia. They've now announced they're actually going to be helping the Russian energy corporations because Donald Trump is a Putin bootlicker. Let's just call it what it is. Last night, Donald Trump held a press conference in connection with the White House Christmas tree lighting ceremony, where Donald Trump says everything in our economy is thriving. Inflation has stopped. This is the golden age. Here, play this clip.
Our economy is thriving. Inflation has stopped. Our nation is strong. And America is back bigger and better, stronger, better than ever before. Think of it. And we're making peace all over the world. We're settling wars at levels that nobody's ever seen before. 8 of them. We're looking for one more. That's Russia, Ukraine, if that's possible. And I think we'll get there eventually.
Yep, war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength. This would make 1984 look less dystopian by far than what we're seeing in this Trump regime. But you have a lot of MAGA Republican Congress members threatening to resign and very dissatisfied with what's happening in the Trump regime. Take a watch here of Congressmember Thomas Massie and others. Play this clip.
Missing in action in a lot of ways. The House is not in the driver's seat when it comes to key policy areas.
You have a lot of intelligent, hardworking people who gave up a lot of things to be here in Congress. Only to find out that all they get to do is come here and rubber stamp whatever Donald Trump wants. Nobody wants.
That's not all they get to do. That's all they choose to do. The Republican senators in House does absolutely nothing. They don't do the hard work of passing bills and legislating. They do not operate as its own separate branch of government. They sit up and rubber stamp, and they all should be voted out. All but three of the Republicans voted to put Breath in as the defense secretary, knowing damn well that he was a wholly and completely unqualified from the position for the position, knowing wholly and completely his record of bankrupting organizations that he had previously been under, knowing wholly and completely that he was a abusive alcoholic. They got that from a letter to his own mother, sent it to Congress, saying what an abusive man he was to women. They knew how he felt about uh, black people and women having positions in the military prior to them giving him this position. They knew all of this. But because this is who 45, 47 nominated, they was like, yes, sir. They should all be voted. Putting the reputation and possibly the United States itself at risk. Because while I don't understand why while it's not widely reported in the for-profit media, I guess they don't want people to panic. I guess they want you to think that, oh, they didn't know this. Russia sent a whole cargo plane over to Venezuela, and they have no idea what they put in that cargo plane to Venezuela. See, while 45, 47 is releasing the sanctions on Russia, Russia is playing games with 45, 47. They're gonna have talks. We're gonna have talks. I'm gonna embarrass you, and you're gonna invite me who have a arrest warrant out for war crimes. You're gonna invite me to your nation and roll the red carpet out to you, and I'm giving you absolutely nothing but my ass to kiss, and you continue to kiss my ass. What did Russia send to Venezuela on that heavy cargo plane? You know that Russia has nuclear weapons, don't you? You know, if those nuclear weapons can actually already strike the United States from Russia, but do you think that they can strike on different coasts of the United States if they get their weapons into Venezuela? While 45, 47 is making up a war, the made up war against narco terrorists. So the United States, you guys are so accustomed to, oh, if the word terrorist is used, is it so bad? They have not proven that these boats are carrying anything other than bodies that they are bombing with the power of the United States Army's weapons, boats that have a motherfucking lawnmower motors on the back of the boat, not ships, not speedboats, not yachts, little fishing vessels. And they are using the whole might of your military. When the stupid motherfucker went in there, they finally have shown the second strike to Congress. And 45, 47, of course, said that he hopes that they release, he wants the tape to be released to everybody. Do you think that they're going to release the tape to everyone? I think we will see the tape. I think that the tape will be leaked, but I don't think that there will be an approval to show this tape. The Congress people were so disgusted at that second strike. You know, Hexel saw the whole thing and he saw it go down, and and then when they said it was a second strike, he said the media was lying and it was fake news and all of that shit. And then his story changed to, well, I only saw the first strike, and I am so busy. What are you so busy for if we're fighting narco terrorists? And I'm so busy, I had to leave and go to other meetings. You mean to tell me we're fighting narco terrorists, and you're in a situation room watching the strikes go down, and you enough seen here. I'm busy. I have meetings. Are you serious? We're supposed to believe that he was so busy. He didn't. We're so he can uh, erase himself from seeing the second illegal strike. So I didn't command it. I didn't even see it happen. That's why, and no apologies. No, I was wrong. No, that's why. He's just lying to lie. Because if you really didn't see it, and you come out and call the news of it fake news, you would then say, "Oh, I apologize. I was wrong, and I didn't know that happened." None of that happened. Just a course of lies being spun and webbed. So this second strike, this stupid admiral takes his ass in there where they show the second strike, and then he says that, well, we did the second strike because did you see the people who were surviving? Yes, they said that these people were hanging on the boats. The boat was capsized and split into two pieces. And this motherfucker actually had the audacity to say that they were trying to turn the boat over and they had called for help. They had called for help, is what he said. And he was afraid that more narco terrorists were going to come to try to rescue these people. You're afraid as you're watching the scene from a drone in the sky, a United States military drone with all of these warship and a nuclear submarine in the region, and you are afraid that these people had called somebody to rescue them. And it has been reported that they had no way to communicate. Whistleblowers are blowing whistles. There was no phone call or no radio call or no a radio call for help. But he sat up there and said that's why he struck them again. Let's continue.
To be a rubber stamp, you could get a monkey to do this job.
One of the horrific things that
You can get a monkey to do this job. All they do is rubber stamp. Now, that's Tom Massey. He is also a Republican. That's the Tom Massey who forced the release of the Epstein papers along with Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it was one other Republican. That's who that is.
we're seeing is that Pete Hegseth and Trump's goons are doubling down on their war crimes, right? As we now know that war crimes have conclusively been committed by Hegseth and by this despicable regime, by the admiral and everyone who's involved in these boat strikes off the coast of Venezuela, where now it's close to 100 people have been dead. Let me show you what went down. So a Turning Point USA influencer, so someone who was part of Charlie Kirk's group that Kirk started called Turning Point USA. His name is Andrew Colvett. And Andrew Colvett posted, "Every new attack aimed at Pete Hegseth makes me want another narco drug boat blown up and sent to the bottom of the ocean." So this comes from a right-wing influencer saying, because you've attacked Hegseth for engaging in war crimes, blow up another boat, Hegseth. So then Hegseth responds, this is real. This isn't AI. This is real. Hegseth responds, "Your wish is our command, Andrew. Just sunk another narco boat." And then U.S. Southern Command posts another death video. On December 4th, at the direction of Pete Hegseth, Joint Task Force Southern Spear conducted a lethal strike on a vessel in international waters operated by a designated terrorist organization. Intelligence confirmed that the vessel was carrying illicit narcotics and transiting along a known narco trafficking route in the Eastern Pacific. This one was in the Eastern Pacific. You take a look, it looks like it was another small boat right there. And again, you have war crimes being committed in plain view. But how sick is it that they're responding to right-wing influence? They kill him, kill him. And then Hegseth goes, your wish is my command. They're dead now. That this is being done under the red, white, and blue, under the United States, it's just beyond despicable. I had the opportunity to interview Democratic Congress member.
Okay, this is in my description box. This is link number 1 in my description box. If you want to see Thomas Gaddy, I don't care how many people died because they are drug users. Why don't you ask why are so many United States citizens wh- and Bush didn't kill any. Bush didn't give. Bush didn't give Netanyahu the bombs to create a genocide. Okay, goodbye. You're angry. You're angry. Talk about. Oh, stay on topic. Stay on topic. Because Obama hasn't been in office in God knows how many years. You're angry that uh, the person that you voted for is doing absolutely nothing for you. Nothing, absolutely nothing for you. Our American children shouldn't be on drugs. Uh, American children weren't on drugs before they start pretending that the drug war was a real war that we fight with our military. How long has the war on drugs been going on? I bet you weren't crying about children whose mothers and fathers were on crack. So you think I'm crying about these children out here doing oxycodone and getting caught up in fentanyl? Do you think that I'm crying because Eric Boland's son, who probably was going through something and was going to take a Xanax and got a hold of fentanyl? Am I supposed to be a sympathizer for drug use? Oh, is that what you want me to do? Truth only? Is that what you want me to do? You want me to Megyn Kelly the drug use of white children? I'm not doing that because you didn't have any sympathy for drug use that racked the black community. So, am I only supposed to care about drug use because it is racking the white community? Oh, you have nothing. Okay. You had nothing when you wrote this first comment in my chat as well. Hey Liz, how are you doing? Jill, Comfort Zone, uh, Them Slick, Outspoken One. It is good to see you. Please make sure you hit the like button. Now, let me share. Let me share this with you. I think this is the one where they are talking about what was said in the hearing that was held for the uh, idiot that did the double tap. Here, and I hit the like, hun. Okay, Jill. I hope I see you tomorrow uh, at 3 p.m. If not, just come in the chat.
From one of the most damning reports from America, Pete Hegseth risked endangering American troops. That is the conclusion from one of the.
That's not the one. That's not the one. Also, on yesterday, remember that signal chat fiasco that this incompetent uh, Secretary of Defense, when he alerted a editor of the Atlantic, along with J.D. Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, and several other White House secretaries. Remember that when he gave the time and the day of information when they were going to strike in Yemen? You remember that? An unsecure app that they're talking and giving times and dates when soldiers were going to be flying in the air to strike a actual combatant enemy. Okay, the enemy that actually had anti-aircraft weapons that they could shoot aircrafts out of the sky. That real enemy, and he was on Signalgate, an unsecure app, talking about the time and what munitions that they were using. So there was an investigation into that. There was an investigation into that. If any of this information was confidential. So let's see what they discovered. Let's see what they determined in this investigation. Same type of thing. What happened when that was first released? He said that it was fake news. Kind of like the same thing he said about doing a double tap of that boat. And what did we find out? We found out that it was real news. And then what did he turn around and say? Then he said, well, I gave no classified information during our chats. Oh, really? And so let's see what the inspector generals have determined about that. That was so long ago. That was several months ago. It's been so much crime that this administration has committed since then. The stealing of the treasury of the United States. Who can remember that?
The most damning report. Pete Hegseth risked endangering American troops. That is the conclusion from one of the most damning reports from the Pentagon Inspector General in history. And this report stems from an extensive investigation into the Defense Secretary's decision to share sensitive war plans on a group chat that actually turned out to include a journalist, Jeffrey Goldberg. Now, Hegseth revealed in that chat the exact times the fighter jets would launch, where they were going to fly, when they would hit their targets, so what the targets were, obviously, meaning that the American pilots of those jets were at risk. It is a rare conclusion about a sitting Secretary of Defense. And news of this report comes as questions are mounting about Hegseth's control at the Pentagon and his competence after a second strike on an alleged.
Hold on, I had to reboot that.
Pete Hegseth risked endangering American troops. That is the conclusion from one of the most damning reports from the Pentagon Inspector General in history, where they were going to fly, when they would hit their targets, so what the targets were, obviously, meaning that the American pilots of those jets were at risk. It is a rare conclusion about a sitting Secretary of Defense. And news of this report comes as questions are mounting about Hegseth's control at the Pentagon and his competence after a second strike on an alleged drug boat. That strike killing 2 survivors who were reportedly clinging to the wreckage. Now, tonight, Trump was forced to say that he would release the video of that second strike.
You released video of that first boat strike on September 2nd, but not the second video. Will you release video of that strike so that the American people can see for themselves what happened?
I don't know what they have, but whatever they have, we'd certainly release. No problem.
Yeah, sure.
Now, of course, Trump has talked similarly about the Epstein files, his taxes, his MRI, but this time might be different. Maybe Trump thinks it will help Hegseth. It's unclear. But this is the video that Hegseth now claims that he himself did not watch live. He says now he didn't see it. Too many other things to do. That, of course, was after he had boasted originally on Fox News that he had watched the entire thing live back in September. Now, the Washington Post reports that if the video of the blast that killed the 2 survivors on September 2nd were made public, people would be horrified, said one person who watched the actual live feed. But it comes as more people, including staunch conservatives, are suggesting Hegseth could be guilty of an actual war crime. Listen to his former Fox News colleague, Andrew Napolitano, who now works at the Trump-friendly.
So this is hold on. Fake news means false news. An admiral testified after the first boat strike, the boat was still afloat in two pieces, capsized. Okay, that's what he testified to. Thus, the second strike was ordered. All lawful. That's a lie. Truth only 777. Don't come in here with propaganda and lies. Do not come in here with this propaganda and lies. The boat, in fact, was split into two pieces and it was capsized. Uh, so, try like. Um, why don't he stop you whites from killing each other? Why hasn't he stopped this white on white crime? Why hasn't he stopped you white people from being the primary people who SA little children? Why don't he stop you white people who are the primary people who beat women? Why don't he stop your white on white crimes? That's the question. And I have a question. Exactly. If it's a black on black crime, how does that affect you and how you live your life? Hmm? Do you think that black people give a damn about what you think about black on black crime? When you people create more crime than anyone in the whole United States? What about this white on white crime where you are the main people who are essaying your own children? How come he hasn't stopped that white on white crime? Hmm? Since you want to talk about crime, let's talk about crime. Oh, you don't want to talk about crime. Uh, you don't really want to talk about crime when you are the perpetrators of most crime in the whole United States of America. No, you don't want to talk about crime. Uh, he has not brokered a peace between Rwanda and the Congo. The Rwanda and the Congo, nor has he brokered a peace between Israel and Palestine, because Rwanda and Congo are still actively fighting. Is that peace? Is that peace? Hmm? He said he had. So you believe it? So you think that we're gonna believe it when people in the region know that they have never stopped fighting? Oh, so I think he also brokered peace between India and Pakistan as well. When India and Pakistan said that he had absolutely nothing to do with their them stop that skirmish that they had over Kashmir. Oh, so he stopped that as well. Do not come in my chat. Uh, do not come in my chat with these lies and with propaganda. This is not the place. Okay, let's continue.
Station Newsmax.
Everybody along the line who did it, from the Secretary of Defense to the Admiral to the people who actually pulled the trigger, should be prosecuted for a war crime for killing these two people.
Right, that's
Now you mean Napolitano is CN? Did he say that on CNN, or is that what is that? News Nation that he said that on? So, depending upon what media outlet is reporting the story, determines the truthfulness of the story. Napolitano is not on CNN. So, is it a lie now? So now is it suddenly the truth because it's on a right wing rag that he's telling the truth?
Station Newsmax.
Newsmax.
Everybody along the line who did it, from the Secretary of Defense to the Admiral to the people who actually pulled the trigger, should be prosecuted for a war crime for killing these two people.
Right, that's not mincing words. What's mincing?
And that's not missing words on CNN. So it's about CNN. It's CNN's fault. It's CNN's fault. It's CNN's fault. It's CNN fault. Once again, do not write propaganda in my chat. Lies and propaganda. He stated he's seen. Lies and propaganda. He stated he's seen the first strike. Is it a seen or saw? What is it, seen or saw the first strike? I'm just asking for a friend. And you think that you need to be taken seriously by me. I think not. Let's continue.
Words at all. And then there's the brutal headline from conservative columnist George Will, who wrote a sickening more.
Not the conservative columnist George Will. I thought that it was CNN's fault. I thought if it's a news source that's not quoting and requoting the lies and propaganda of the right wing, you can't believe it. But George Will, not the staunch Republican George Will. What did George Wills have to say?
Moral slum. And then there's the brutal headline from conservative columnist George Will, who wrote a sickening moral slum of an administration. And then went on to write, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth seems to be a war criminal without a war. An interesting admission. Okay. And then listen to Republican Senator Rand Paul, who said Hegseth is either lying or incompetent yesterday.
There is a question of the legality of bombing people who are shipwrecked or incapacitated. I frankly think it's absolutely illegal.
This may be why the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, Roger Wicker, who voted to confirm Hegseth, is now refusing to say whether or not he has confidence in Trump's defense secretary.
Do you have confidence in him? Would you say that? Can you say if you do? Thanks for your time.
And while all these questions swirl around Hegseth, who, of course, calls himself the Secretary of War, he is refusing to sit down for tough interviews, turning down multiple interview requests from CNN and others. But an interview was released last night, which appears to have been taped before news of this whole second strike imbroglio. And in that conversation, which was with Stephen Miller's wife, Katie, Hegseth talks about whether he'd let Stephen Miller babysit his kids and what he eats for breakfast. Who would you trust to babysit?
I don't give a fuck about any of this. With his babysitter, his wife number 3, who was knocked up by him while he was still married to wife number 2, and we are supposed to take this numbnut seriously. With his socks with the star, desecrating the American flag every chance he gets, trying to wear all this patriotic clothing and shit. If I see this fucking tie one more time, the same motherfucker who says he doesn't wash his hands because he want to strengthen his body against any germs and diseases. A whole with these fucking shoes that look like he has been walking in snow for 500 miles, all brown on the tip. Oh my God, this trash and the trash he's sitting with. Let me so, let me move forward. Okay, so we see that the investigation into the signal chat uh, uh, was found to be information given out to people who could have downed the plane. And we are clear that the Yemen, the people in Yemen had anti-aircraft machinery that could have shot those planes out of the sky. And here him and JD uh, hip swinging Vance is sitting up there giving out all the information about the times and what they were going to use to strike these boats. Let me see. Let me share. Let me share this with you as well. And I'm going to get back to why it's important about that signal call that put the lives of our military people who were going to fly these missions in danger.
President, who is, of course, the oldest man ever to be sworn into office in this country's long history. And it's showing. Today, he went on a disgusting tirade about Somali immigrants, many of whom are Americans, that even by his own degraded standards was egregiously racist.
Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon. I hope.
We know you don't know. We know you don't know.
Somalia, what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And
so are you guys pacified until you go to the grocery store to buy something and have to spend a damn near twice as much to get half as much groceries? Are you guys pacified as you, well, half of you probably don't have health insurance anyway, because health insurance is gotten from your employer. So half of you guys haven't qualified or have been able to pass a drug test to even get jobs. So are you guys pacified that he's shooting out his blatant racism? Because that's what make you love him. That's all he got for you. That's all he has for you. But him and his friends are getting billions.
a lot of it starts with the governor. A lot of it starts with Barack Hussein Obama, because that's when people started coming in. And
Somalians have been in Minnesota for several decades, but they have started coming in under Obama. It's everyone else's fault. Oh, bring Obama in. Oh, it started under Obama. Oh, he is so weak. Did that perk the hairs up on your head, or are your hair the hairs? Oh no, it didn't perk the hairs up on your head, because so many of you are walking around America all dirty and greasy. Because you don't bathe. The hair on your head is hard pressed to stand on end, because you are such disgusting, dirty people. And you want to talk about black on black anything. And the black is on your ankles and on the bottoms of your feet and under your fingernails, while you're worried about black on black anything. As you are the worst abusers, and as you are the worst criminals in the United States. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. As you are the most drug-ridden race in the United States. Let's talk about it. If you don't want to die from drugs, quit using drugs. Quit using drugs. Why are they bringing drugs to the United States? Because you guys are swallowing them up. Because that's the only hope that you have, because you're these people that you continue to put in office do you no justice, but you continue to vote for them because they come out and say things like this, because they come out with this racism. And why do they continue to come out with this racism? Everybody knows why. This is all they have to offer you, and you continue to put them in office. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll empty his pockets for you. So, you think that we don't know the game? Maybe you don't know the game. The game you're playing is old. The game you're playing is old. And where has it gotten you? Where has worrying about black on black crime gotten you? Where did worrying about black on black crime get Charlie Kirk when he was asked about gun violence, including or not including gang violence? His famous last words. Where did any of that get you people? Because it was not gang violence that killed Charlie Kirk. So where does worrying about black on black violence get you? I'm curious. Per capita, huh? Where does any of that get you? Okay, let's continue. I see I have no comments, nothing to say. Oh, okay. There is. We'll talk about that next. Let's continue.
You have to have people come in that are going to love our country, cherish our country. They want to kiss our country goodnight.
There's a lot about that appearance that was both strange and things that we've come to sort of see as normal. You may have noticed Trump kept his hand under the table there. In fact, he appeared to be going out of his way to hide his right hand specifically. That's the same hand that just yesterday was covered with makeup and Band-Aids, the same hand that has had large bruises on it in the past. As for the substance of his remarks, Trump has always been a bigot, going back many decades. He's clearly having a harder time keeping rants like that inside. In fact, today's spectacle comes after a similar tirade yesterday. Also, he's repeating himself a lot. That one was during a cabinet meeting, mostly focused on Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and those pretty clearly unlawful boat strikes, although admittedly, Trump seemed to sleep through quite a bit of it. In fact, at one point, and I think this might be an indelible image of this entire presidency when all is said and done, at one point, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was heaping praise on the great man for his singular leadership. As the man next to him, the president appeared to be nodding off.
This war is going on, and the president is trying to end it, not because, listen, we got a million things to focus on in the world as a country, but he's the only leader in the world that can help end it. And that's why that's why even as we speak to you now, Steve Witkoff is in Moscow trying to find a way to end this war, to save lives of 9,000 people, Mr. President, as you know, are dying every week.
Have you ever seen a more awake man? A more virile man? A man of more implacable energy than this man here, Mr. President, talking about you. The Washington Post counted a total of 6 minutes where Trump's eyes were closed or he otherwise struggled to stay awake. And so in response, the White House brought out its defenders to explain why everything is fine.
I read this article, like President Trump is slowing down, President Trump's mental capacity. It is 100% fake. That, like, he only called me twice at 2 a.m. last week instead of 3 times.
You may sleep less than the president, Brad, and that is a remarkable thing because I don't think he sleeps at all.
Fox News even brought out their senior medical analyst to talk about how great naps are.
Social media goes crazy, and the left is going crazy after totally deep sixing any concern about Biden for 4 years. And they went crazy because at one point today, when Rubio was talking, President Trump had his eyes closed for, a few seconds. It seemed like a few seconds. But they went crazy. Like, he's sleeping during meetings. Like, your reaction tonight?
I think he seems extremely sharp, and I think this whole thing is a bait and switch. This is a disgrace because we don't need to see President Trump passing cognitive tests. As you just said, he passes one every single day, every single moment, going in and out of press conferences. I've never seen anything like it, actually. Thomas Edison believed in the 10-minute nap, by the way. What would they say? We wouldn't have electricity, right?
Now, I'll level with you here. I, too, am a great believer in naps. I do try to avoid them while I'm on air with you. It goes without saying that the 79-year-old president is no Thomas Edison. Maybe it's just the normal process of aging. I mean, he is, 79. Maybe it's something more. I don't know. We know the president had an MRI a few weeks ago, which he weirdly kind of tangentially introduced and mentioned. It was part of what the White House initially said was his annual physical. In fact, it was his second annual physical of the year. Usually the annual physical happens once a year, at least that we know about. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't think an MRI is generally part of a normal checkup. And then when asked about it, Trump has been super dodgy.
Did you get an MRI? Can you tell us what
I did. I got an MRI. It was perfect. Yeah. I mean, I gave you the full results. We had an MRI, and in the machine, the whole thing, and it was perfect.
Why did President Trump get an MRI during his recent visit to Italy?
Look, as President Trump said, he would inquire with the physicians. I'll check back on that. But as the physical itself stated, Kristen, and as you all know, because you are all witness to it, every single day the president is in optimal physical health.
I had an MRI as part of my standard yearly, or I think they do it every 2 years, but I have the physical every year, and the result was outstanding. Did you know? I have no idea what they analyzed, but whatever they analyzed it well, and they said that I had as good a result as they've ever seen. If you want to have it released, I'll release it.
Please, can you tell us what they were looking at?
For what, releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I...
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris.
Hold on. Let me get that back for you. Well, I think that's all. I think that's all I wanted to share. Let me go on. What did I want? What do I want? That link is link number 3 in my description box. He's in on it. Adam Mokler. I want to share that with you. Here we go.
America is in a uniquely vulnerable position. All right, this is some seriously disturbing stuff. As America is in a uniquely vulnerable position, we get a breaking news report that the President of the United States has been reposting and amplifying foreign bot accounts. These foreign bot accounts have the sole intention of spreading disinformation and division within America to weaken social cohesion. Who needs enemies that spread disinformation when you have friends like the President of the United States who...
Okay, so while we are talking about a CNN is fake news, MSNBC is fake news, while your actual president is seeing racist in comments on X, and he's reposting and amplifying these hateful comments. X has enabled a ability for you to see the actual regions that these X posts are coming out of. And why is it that 4547 is amplifying the hate speech against America from these people from foreign countries? And why is it that it is the most racist stuff that your president decides to amplify from people who don't even live in the United States? Why is it that people who don't even live in the United States knows how to get the attention of MAGA via racist and propaganda? Ask yourself that. Ask yourselves that. Why is it that people around the world know how to get MAGA to share them out, to gain viewers. They have these people living in these, what did 45, 37 call them? Third world countries with hundreds of telephones, posting. Hey, and who is amplifying their posts? MAGA. MAGA is amplifying the post. How do they get MAGA's attention? Just sprinkle a little racism on it. Let's continue. Up until this bird brain 45, 47.
Who is supposed to act as a bulwark.
This is in my description box. Link the number 4 in my description box.
And social cohesion. Who needs enemies that spread disinformation when you have friends like the President of the United States, who is supposed to act as a bulwark with moral clarity against this type of division and disinformation, but Donald Trump's incentives happen to align perfectly with that of Russian bot farms, Iranian bot farms, China bot farms, Qatari bot farms in countries that intentionally would like the United States to become more weak. How much does it help Vladimir Putin, for example, when half of the country thinks the 2020 election was stolen? Now, they're trying to convince people the 2024 election was stolen. They try to spread Islamophobia while also spreading anti-Semitism so that both sides hate each other, while also spreading misogyny and racism. The weakening of social cohesion helps these countries, and Donald Trump pours gasoline, pours fuel on the fire. We have this that reads, Trump reposted a slew of foreign-based accounts on Monday night. This comes from Midas Touch. He shared hundreds and hundreds of posts in the middle of the night, but of those hundreds and hundreds of posts, 16 accounts in those posts were labeled by X as being in other countries. This gets really, really interesting. Remember, just a week back, X enabled a new feature showing where posters are, their location. And we found out that a lot of the biggest MAGA accounts called like Caroline Levitt's biggest fan or Trump fan page or MAGA Daily News with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, they were in like Indonesia or Eastern Europe, meaning Russia. They were bot farms in other countries, in Macedonia. For example, Sammy Nathaniel, this guy, is based in South Asia. No incentive, no say in U.S. politics, no vote in U.S. politics, I'd assume, nothing to do with it. He's in East Asia. His bio says, hashtag love Trump, Trump fan, football fan, Real Madrid supporter. Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. Is that his view on like him being a Trump fan? Just because he's not an American doesn't mean he can't be a big Trump fan. That's his view. But then Trump reposted this guy, reposted this fake account. I mean, it could be a real person, but it's likely just a bot account, right? Sammy Nathaniel, this is good for America. Ending the year strong. Trump reposts him again. Good job, Senator Kennedy. Trump reposts him again. America first. American patriots voted for this. What do you mean American patriots voted for this? You're not even American, dude. Good job, Tulsi Gabbard, he says. Massive. Just a bunch of posts of Trump reposting a fake person. What about this? Mila Joy. This person, it says account based in the United States, but then there's a little flag, a little exclamation point. The country or region may not be accurate. It flags when somebody's likely using a VPN and is in a different country. So this person is politically conservative, MAGA, but their location seems a little bit off. The United States of America. Trump shared the account multiple times. This account was sowing disinformation and division. It says, Gavin Newsom and his wife actually created an NGO to steal fire aid money, and not one penny has been given to fire victims. Gavin Newsom is lower than low. Okay. We're going to continue to go through these, but the title of this video will likely be something like, he's in on it. Because Donald Trump is not only in on the disinformation spreading, he is a super spreader who adds a fire hose of disinformation to the U.S. landscape. And I want to break down some of the most concerning aspects. The fake elector scheme and his attempt to steal a Democratic election back in 2020/2021 was built on lies that the 2020 election was stolen. Lies that Russia has tried to spread for years now. Russia has allocated $3 billion US dollars into their own disinformation campaigns to sow division in the United States, to weaken the cohesion of our society. But as I said at the beginning of the video, kind of jokingly, who needs enemies like Russia when you have presidents like Donald Trump in the United States who are aggressively trying to divide the American people? This election fraud lie is something that disgusts me for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I will be banging the drum about how the president of the United States lied and tried to steal the election every single day. And make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you appreciate that venture. I won't talk about it during dates with like girls or anything, but other than that,
this is link 4 in my description box. I see the blame game on what news media. Listen, do not come in my chat writing curse words in my chat. You will not get another chance. You will not get another chance. If you cannot converse like a grown adult, you can leave. No one's forcing you to be here. But do not come in my chat writing curse words in my chat. What's a Marxist? Scott, give me the definition of a Marxist. Right now. Right now. No, don't go look it up. Right now. Right now. Oh, you don't even know what a Marxist is. Get the... Oh, a Marxist. Oh, a Marxist. Oh, you're a Marxist. Oh my God. Let me use a term that is supposed to be so bad that I have the absolutely no knowledge of what it means. A Marxist. Okay. And you're gone. And you're gone. Okay, let's continue. There is some more things I want to share and talk about. Let's continue. Now, you may remember that Keg Breath had made a new rule in the Pentagon that if any reporters were going to stay in the Pentagon, they would have to sign some contract of these new rules, and they would also have to sign an NDA. And all reputable media refused to sign this contract, and they left the Pentagon. Uh, Keg Breath, this was right before Keg Breath started doing these unlawful strikes in the Caribbean. And Keg Breath now has the Pentagon stocked with people like racist Laura Loomer, these YouTube and Instagram influencers. So these are the people who are reporting out of the Pentagon now. So the New York Times is suing Keg Breath for this. If you are unaware about this, let me share this information with you. The New York Times sues the Defense Department. Let's start from the beginning. New York Times sues Defense Department and Keg Breath over new Pentagon press rules. The New York Times sued Pentagon and its chief, Pete Hegseth, on Thursday, alleging the Defense Department's new press access rules, which restricts news outlets communication with military sources without approval, violated the paper's First and Fifth Amendment rights. In a filing made before the D.C. federal court, the Defense Department's policy seeks to restrict journalists' ability to ask questions of government employees and gather information. And this is the exodus of all of the real journalists leaving, refusing to sign some draconian, dumb bullshit from this Fox News host. Weekend Fox News co-host, shall I say. To report stories that makes the public and report stories that take the public beyond official pronouncements. So they are able to talk to people, make contact with people, and get the actual story above and beyond the propaganda that the new Secretary of Defense would like to put out. You know, that propaganda, like the media is telling lies and fake news. You know, that propaganda to get to the real story. This is what your Defense Department is trying to do. No, it is not the War Department, because to change the name of the Defense Department, it must go through Congress. I'm not making a mistake. I'm being factual. While all of you numbnuts are out here and your for-profit media is out here buying into that War Department of War or War Department, it is actually the Department of Defense, because it has not gone through the right channels to change the name. So let's continue. The policy, which news outlets were required to sign to gain access to the Pentagon, states that military personnel needed approval before sharing any information, and said the press should be aware. Personnel. Oh, wait a minute. And said the press should be aware. Hold on. And said the press should be aware that sharing information the press should be aware that personnel may face adverse consequences for unauthorized disclosures. So the Pentagon is making sure that anything that the press writes, they have the final stamp on the story. Is this Russia? Is this some Russia media control type shit that's going on under Keg Breath in 4547? Is this propaganda only is allowed to get out to the public? It seems that way. It seems like they have taken their cues from the people they're releasing sanctions on, how to tighten down on the media. That is one of the 10 steps to fascism. The filing states that the Pentagon has made clear that unlawful routine news gathering techniques, like asking questions to and interviewing government employees, could lead to revocation of their press pass. The paper argues that through this policy, Pentagon officials have given themselves the power to suspend a journalist's credentials for publishing stories that the Pentagon leadership may perceive as unfavorable. The Times urged the courts to deem the policy unlawful and unconstitutional and issue an injunction barring the Pentagon from enforcing of this policy. In a statement, the New York Times said it had filed a lawsuit to oppose the new press policy that punishes journalists for ordinary news gathering. The statement adds the policy is an attempt to exert control over reporting the government over reporting. Wait a minute. The policy is an attempt to exert control over reporting the government's dislike in validation of a free press right to seek information under the First and the Fifth Amendment. Rights protected by the Constitution. Imagine that. Imagine that the Secretary of Defense has a problem with the right of the press that is protected under the Constitution. But we know that it has been become obvious that Keg Breath doesn't even know the Constitution. In October, several major news outlets, including Time, CNN, ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, The Wall Street Journal, The Washington Post, and Hegseth, a former employer, Fox News, refused to agree to the rules and turned in their access badges. After this, the Pentagon's top spokesperson, Sean Parnell, who is also named as a defendant in the case, tweeted, "The self-righteous media chose to self-deport from the Pentagon." That's their right, but also their loss. They will not be missed. The Department of he says War will make an announcement soon regarding the next generation of the Pentagon Press Corps. A bunch of YouTube influencers, including Laura Loomer, the administration who is so against anti-Semitism, has a whole hater of the Jewish people sitting in the Pentagon. And remember, during Hegseth's confirmation hearings, he refused. No, it wasn't the confirmation hearing. It was the hearing where he had to come in and show his budget, but he had no budget to show. Remember, they asked him had he taken consultations from Laura Looney to fire black four-star generals, and he refused to say, I understand that your Department of Defense is possibly taking hiring and firing calls from Laura Loomer. And we do know that 4547 has been taking calls from Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer is telling 4547, it has been reported, who should be fired from his administration, who is not trustworthy enough. While they pretend and make up memorandums about anti-Semitism. They have Laura Loomer sitting in their offices, walking through the White House all day. A Holocaust denier is telling them who to fire and hire, as they use the lie of anti-Semitism to claw back money from universities who are studying cancer research and all of this type of stuff, as they have Laura Loomer running the halls of not only the White House, but now the Pentagon as well. Make that make sense. I'll wait. On Wednesday, look at who we got here. Laura Loonface. On Wednesday, the Pentagon issued a statement welcoming its new press corps and held a briefing which was attended by the likes of right-wing social media figure Laura Looney. They held a briefing which was attended by Laura and former GOP representative Matt Gaetz. The outlets and outlets like Mike Lindell TV. So we have Laura Looney. We have the 17-year-old girl loving Matt Gaetz, and we have Mike Lindell TV, who has been humiliated behind all of his lies and scams. These are the press corps of your Pentagon under the head of Pete Kegbreath. Pete Kegbreath. This is who is reporting the news from the Pentagon. Are we clear? You happy now? That story didn't even come from CNN. That came from Forbes. You happy now? Besides the outlet who gave you that story, what are your complaints about that story? I'm curious. Are there any complaints about this reporting? Since it didn't come from Fox, since it didn't come from CNN, surely you can't be complaining. Okay. Uh, Let me see what else I wanted to share with you. Hey, Vibrant, it is good to see you. Hello, cake eating dragon. Cake eating dragon. I'm unclear about exactly what you mean by your statement. What do you mean exactly? Okay. While you tell me exactly what you're talking about, I will move forward. Now, let's get to the reporting about the guy who went in to show and explain the double tap to kill these alleged drug traffickers who they have not proven were trafficking any drugs. He walked in there with tires all over his uniform for being thrown under the bus by Keg Breath, who tried to pretend like, oh, I was there and I saw it went excellently. Now, the thing that I want to know Well, this is the question I want some of your for-profit media to ask, since they're being paid millions of dollars to sit on TV every night. I'm wondering why is it nobody can answer the question? This should have been the first question that was asked. Kegbreath said, "Well, I was there. I saw the first strike, and I was so busy. I had other things to do, so I left, and I went to meetings. I wasn't there for the whole 1 or 2 hours. Now, there's a big difference between 1 and 2 hours that it took for them to do the second tap. So, and did you see any people in the water? It was so much smoke and all of this stuff, and you couldn't see, and I had to go. So he pretends that he didn't even see the people in the water. He saw the strike, and he just ran and left before he even understood if this strike was successful. And then he put a time frame on it that he couldn't stay there for the whole 1 or 2 hours that it took for them to do the second tap. But since they took that a portion of the video out that they presented on September 3rd of this September 2nd attack, the question that I want to know is what length of time between the first strike and the second strike did they kill these people who were in the water? Let's get into this. No media outlets has asked this simple question. Said Hegself, Kegbreath put it out there that he couldn't wait the 1 or 2 hours before the second strike. Based upon the video, how long between the first and second strike? Isn't that an obvious question?
And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, he cannot get off the hot seat under even more pressure tonight. We've got new developments about the military's first attack on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean that some lawmakers say may be a war crime. The New York Times is reporting Hegseth approved contingency plans for what to do if an initial strike left survivors. According to multiple U.S. officials, quote, the military would attempt to rescue survivors who appeared to be helpless, shipwrecked, and out of what the administration considered a fight. But it would try again to kill them if it took what the United States deemed to be a hostile action, like communicating with suspected cartel members. That is what the official said. After the smoke cleared from a first strike on September, there were 2 survivors, and one of them did radio for help. Admiral Frank M. Bradley, who commanded the operation, ordered a follow-up strike, and both of those individuals were killed. Tomorrow,
So Bradley went in and said that one of the 2, after the smoke cleared, one of the 2 radioed for help. Okay. So we are to believe that a strike from the U.S. Military on a fishing vessel left the radio intact. It is also has been reported from whistleblowers that there was no radio call, no phone call. There was no calls made by these people who are in the water. But this is what this numbnut took his ass in and tried to cover his ass. Now, regardless of what Hegseth said the laws are, the maritime laws say that you cannot strike a vessel. If they call for help or anything, if they are not creating, trying to fight, if they are not combative, they were going to call another vessel with the Caribbean full of United States warships. So therefore, you needed to strike them again. That doesn't even make dog sense. He tells you the lie that they called for help. How do you even know they were transmitting anything based upon your lie? Based upon your lie, how do you know that they were transmitting anything? but that has already been proven to be a lie from one of these people who we call whistleblowers. You know, these people that Elon Musk tried to fire from the administration and take the protections away from, so people would not come out and tell you the truth. The reason why Cat Breath has all of these right wing influencers sitting in the Pentagon so they can write whatever they are told to write and send it out to you. And you are supposed to pretend that you have gotten information and are informed. The propaganda, uh, the propaganda, the propaganda of it all. Okay, let's continue.
That admiral will brief lawmakers on Capitol Hill in closed-door sessions. And the Wall Street Journal is reporting that he will tell them that the survivors were seen aboard the vessel alongside packages of illegal narcotics. Quote, Admiral Bradley plans to say he and his legal advisor can...
Uh-oh.
We are
My bad.
334 days away
Hold
from
on.
the midterms. And
My
Defense
bad.
Secretary Pete Hegseth, he cannot get off the hot seat under their drug run, making them the already... He and his legal advisor concluded the two survivors were attempting to continue their drug run, making them the already damaged vessel legitimate targets for another attack. That is according to two defense officials. With that, let's bring in our nightcap. Philip Pump is here, MS Now columnist and contributor, Molly Jong Fast, Vanity Fair special correspondent, and host of the Fast Politics.
He would tell them that they were trying to continue their drug run on a boat that was shot into two pieces. And I hope he did not take his ass in there and say that they were trying to continue their drug run. Let's get into it.
Podcast and Anthony Fisher, MS Now columnist and senior editor. What is your reaction to this reporting?
Well, I mean, my reaction is that it's just appalling that Pete Hegseth, who kind of came in and was screaming about, fat people in the military and bringing back like the honor and
no beards too. Watch out.
Even special forces had
there
to,
you go.
got to get shaky
You're out of
about
luck.
that. But the idea that we're now defining down military actions that were once, the province of, law enforcement, like, going after drug smugglers, the U.S. military was used for that, but they weren't at war. They weren't, these weren't enemy combatants. And now we've defined down war to the point that people who are clinging to life, who radio for help, we're now defining that as they're continuing their war mission. They're continuing to bring their poison to the shores of the United States. And to me, that's appalling. It's something that a lot of military veterans, people who are free to speak now, they're no longer in the military, have described as war crimes. And I really hope this isn't the end of this. I really hope that lawmakers do hold this admiral to some account when he speaks tomorrow.
I see you taking notes. You must have something to say. I assume it's not your grocery list.
No, look, I think the problem for Hegseth is the story keeps changing. Right. He said none of, we're seeing more details, different stories, wasn't in the room, was in the room. Now they are all committed to bringing up this admiral. I think this is a problem for him. And we're seeing both sides. I mean, the other thing is Trump's political fortunes are not what they were 6 months ago. Right. And so people are getting a little braver on the Republican side. And that's not an accident. Right. I think we even see more pushback from the Supreme Court, which is a sort of politicized, very political court right now. So I'd be very surprised if there wasn't like more, they're saying there's going to be bipartisan hearings. There certainly is going to be a big closed door hearing tomorrow. And I think there's going to be more. And I think Hegseth is really in trouble.
Do you share the same concern that some lawmakers and service members have that Admiral Bradley could be scapegoated here?
I mean, it certainly looks like they're trying to, everyone is like, well, this was the guy who was really in charge. I mean, that does feel like they're trying to do it. I mean, the good news with Trump world is always this. They are largely not so good at what they do. And thank God for that. But that doesn't mean they won't get away with stuff. And so we'll see what happens. But I certainly see definitely there's a lot of pushback on the Republican side, which is certainly a new factor.
A couple of things. I think, first of all, we should just remember there's no reason to grant Pete Hegseth the benefit of the doubt on any of this. I mean, this is the same day that we had reporting that, of course, when he had the leaked signal chat earlier this year, that it potentially put service members at risk, something that he had denied. And, he's not a credible figure. And so we should always apply an asterisk to things that he is saying. I do think, though,
on the signal gate, the administration continues to back him.
Yes, well, I mean, that's
For
sort of
now,
a broader question.
for now,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
They said he was fully exonerated.
Right, yes, of course. Well, this is what they're going to say, to their handpicked.
But who, somebody in the group chat?
Yeah, Jeff Goldberg. I mean, I do think, though, that it's important to remember that the idea here that Anthony was getting at, the idea here that we're talking about war is ludicrous. Now, consider, this is one of the first strikes. Right. So it is not the case that these guys, whoever they were, even if they were carrying drugs to some island in the Caribbean, they were not cognizant of the fact that there was hovering some sort of, aircraft that was going to blow them out of the water. They were not enemy combatants in a war because no war existed. Right. This is a contrivance that is being applied after the fact.
So what you're saying is at best they're criminals, but that's not a war.
Exactly. And so if they then get blown up out of the blue, having no idea what's going on, they're hanging onto this boat and they're like, hey, someone come help us. We don't know what the hell happened. Maybe they thought the boat blew. Like, who knows, right? And they're radiating for help. The idea that the administration wants us to have is that these people were continuing to do their war acts. And it is just idiotic to say that that is what's happening in that situation, given particularly that this was one of the first times this had occurred.
Okay. So also worth adding that the president pardoned the former president of Honduras, who flooded this country with illegal drugs.
And we also still don't know that there are drugs on those boats.
That's true.
Right? Because there's a fisherman's family that's trying to sue right now.
Yes, and normally in these situations, they show you the stacks of drugs. Here's what we got. Here's what we did. Okay, here's a question.
Well, we are supposed to believe that because this lying administration tells you that there's drugs on the boat, that no need to show us the drugs. Let's not forget the time that Pam Bimbo came out and had a whole stack of packages stacked up on her desk, saying that it was fentanyl that was recovered on a drug bus, and then had to go back and correct herself. It was representing the amount of fentanyl that was collected. This bitch had a whole desk full of wrapped packages trying to give you a visual of the alleged fentanyl that they had just did a bust on. But they ain't even bothered to do that for you about these boats. We are not going to act as if fake drugs were presented as a representation of a drug bust by a drug ring by this administration. Because Pam Bimbo has already done that. Now, Richard Colligan, if you don't care, why are you here? And do you think that I care that you don't care when obviously you're here and you want me to care that you don't care? You don't have to be here. Douglas, I do not allow cursing in my chat. If you want to chat in my chat, okay, bye. If you cannot talk like an adult, if you're mad about the facts that I'm presenting, it's not about I'm not talking about Democrats in any way. He just let a drug kingpin free, but he wants us to believe that he's killing these people on these boats behind alleged fentanyl that doesn't even come from that region of the world. But he just told you how he and Xi of China get along real good. As he just told you that. But you guys are in here mad. Don't get mad at the truth. I don't care if you're mad at the truth. Talk about stay on track. Let's continue. Okay. There is there is something else I want to share with you. I want to share with you why I thought it was important about why I thought it was important. Let's talk. Let's see. Jim Hines talk about Let's see Jim Hines talk about seeing this second tap, and let's see Jim Hines, a Republican, not a Dem. Let's see a Republican talk about what he saw on the video on this second tap, and let's see him run like a little bitch. Come out being brave. Now, this is of the 6 Republican senators. He is the only one who had the balls to go up to a mic, but then obviously those mics were neutered his ball because he ran away and did not take any questions. Let me see. This link is also in my description box as well. This will be number 7 in my description box if you want to go revisit this video again. It is short because Jim Hines ran like a hoe. Caught in church with dirty drawers on.
Can you tell us what you learned? Your impressions. Let me just say this. Admiral Bradley and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff did the right thing. Admiral Bradley defended the decisions taken. And Admiral Bradley has a storied career, and he has my respect, and he should have the respect of all of us. But what I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time.
The two things, these two things can't exist. He had a story to tell, and he has my respect and should have yours. Well, why should he have so much respect? He did the right thing. Well, if he did the right thing, why are you out here about to cry? Why are you out here about to cry about what you saw? You can't have it both ways. And that's why you ran your bitch ass away from the mics.
Admiral Bradley and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff did the right thing.
The chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, what is it? Raising Cane, the 3-star general who was not qualified for the position when they fired the black former Joint Chief of Staff for absolutely no reason that they could even put into words other than he was black. They had no reason why they fired Q Brown. Gave you no reason, but they gave this 4-star general position to Raising Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Cane, who wasn't qualified and just got qualified for the position last month. And you expect us to believe these motherfuckers told the truth? The Raising Cane that had a Make America Great Again cap on when 4547 visited him, and which is also against the military laws. That Raising Cane that 4547 became enamored with when he saw him breaking military rules to wear a Make America Great Again hat on when he visited a military base. That Raising Cane, that unqualified red-nosed motherfucker, they did what? Tell me again about Raising, the chair of the Joint Chief of Staff, when they cannot tell you why they fired the first Joint Chief of Staff. No, Raising Cane. That was, yeah, Q Brown. They can't tell you why they fired him.
Can you tell us what you learned? Your impression of this?
Let me just say this. Admiral Bradley and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff did the right thing. And Admiral Bradley defended the decisions taken. And Admiral Bradley has a storied career, and he has my respect, and he should have the respect of all of us. But what I saw in that room was one.
But bitch, this is about to be part of the story. A war crimes is about to be a part of his stories.
One of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have two individuals in clear distress without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel.
Two people in obvious distress without any means of locomotion. So didn't I just play for you what they had planned to tell this committee that they were continuing on with their drug run?
Service. You have two individuals in clear distress without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel, who were killed.
With a destroyed vessel that were killed. So with this destroyed vessel, how were they continuing and showing that they wanted to continue on with their drug run? The vessel was in two pieces. Why y'all want to play games? Why y'all want to act like information is not available to you, but you are quite informed on propaganda and lies and bullshit? Let's continue.
By the United States. By the two individuals in clear distress without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel, who were killed by the United States.
Can you tell us?
That's all you got? That's all you got? Is that all you have? While trying to pretend like you're choking back tears. That's all you got to tell the American people?
Who were killed by the United States.
And if I tell you more, I would have to admit that this was a war crime, because I'm not taking any questions. So you can have me the one to tell you that they didn't make any phone calls, they didn't make any radio calls. I'm gonna run away from the mic and act like I'm choked up. Well, if you're that choked up about what the United States did in killing these people, that says more than a little bit right there. Because if the United States rightfully killed these people, you would stand there and say, what reason why you agreed with this killing of these two people that the United States killed. You would stand there and take questions because you would be assured in what you're talking about. But you don't want to take questions now. You want to run away from the microphone because the press may ask you a valid question that you don't want to answer. This is number 7 in my description box.
Wait, can you tell us a little bit more about exactly what was so troubling? Like, what were some of the things that troubled you?
Under the DoD manual for abiding by the laws of armed conflict, the specific example given of an impermissible action is attacking a shipwreck. Any American who sees the video that I saw will see the United States military attacking shipwrecked sailors. Bad guys, but
Bad guys, bad guys. We don't know. We don't know that these are bad guys. You guys, nobody has proven that these were bad guys. Let's be first and foremost. Now he's telling you that they have gone against military training. And Hexef is joking to someone from Turning Point who says that they would like to see another boat at the bottom of the ocean, and he tweets out on X, "Your wish is my command. Just struck another one down tonight."
Any American who sees the video that I saw will see the United States military attacking shipwrecked sailors. Bad guys, but attacking shipwrecked sailors. Now, there's a whole set of contextual items that the Admiral explained. Yes, they were carrying drugs. They were not in the position to continue their mission in any way. People will someday see this video and they will see that video shows, if you don't have the broader context, an attack on.
If you don't have the broader context, we don't need any broader context. We know. Why don't you pinpoint this broader context for us? You have the broader context. Hey, Z Sarah, how are you doing? You have the broader context. Give us the broader context of a military strike on a boat that the military wasn't supposed to strike. Give us the broader context. Many people would see this, but without the broader context, you're at the mic. Give us the broader context. Give us the lie that we are supposed to buy about this war crime.
Shipwrecked sailors. People will someday see this video and they will see that video shows, if you don't have the broader context, an attack on shipwrecked sailors. That's the last thing I'm going to say is that the Admiral confirmed that there had not been a kill them all order and that there was not an order to grant no quarter.
So does it exonerate Hexef?
That's all I got.
He will not say if it exonerate Hexef. That's all I have to say. He was not given this order. That's what he says. That's what he said. He wasn't given that order.
Do you think the video should be released publicly?
I do.
Do you expect hearings, sir?
We have.
That's your administration. That is your administration. Creating war crimes. Please hit the like button. The military law says that they weren't supposed to strike this. That who says? The United States military law says that they weren't supposed to strike the boat. Did you not hear him say himself that military law says that you are not supposed to strike a ship that has been shipwrecked? Did you not hear that? Okay, David. Oh, yeah, believe that. Okay, let's continue. Let's move on. There is something else that I wanted to share with you. Let me share this with you because we are definitely moving on. This link is also going to be in my description box. Let's check this one out. Let's let me share this with you. Lawmaker horrified after watching war crimes as calls for Hegseth impeachment grow. This is going to be number 8 in my description box if you want to revisit this video. Let me share this with you.
We have major news right now from Capitol Hill where lawmakers who are watching the full video of the strikes, the possible war crimes from September 2nd, well, they say they're horrified because America killed 2 people who posed no threat to the United States, and it was all captured on video. And they are demanding that the video be made public because right now, folks, this is a war crime, and it's been pretty much confirmed today. Now, whether or not Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump are wrapped up into this, that remains an open question, and the investigation is ongoing. But what we learned today, well, it's very serious, and people need to know about it. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Consider subscribing to my Substack. Click the link below to support my work. And it comes as Signalgate, the Inspector General's report, has been released publicly. So there's a lot to cover right now. So first.
Okay. He's gonna talk about this first because Signalgate, the findings in Signalgate are disturbing for several reasons. So let's get into.
Lawmakers are being shown the full video of the September 2nd boat strikes in their meeting with Admiral Mitch Bradley and General Kane, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I want you to read this quote from Jim Himes, who's the ranking member on the House Intelligence Committee, one of the most senior people in the House of Representatives. Quote, "What I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have 2 individuals in clear distress without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel, were killed by the United States." Now, Himes did go on to say that there was no, quote, kill all survivors order that was reported by the Washington Post. Apparently, Admiral Bradley and General Kane said that such an order from Pete Hegseth was not given. But that does not change the fact that you had 2 individuals in clear distress without any means of moving, with a destroyed vessel in the middle of the high seas, killed by the United States of America. And that's a video that he is demanding now that the public sees. Whether or not Pete Hegseth was the one who ordered this strike, though, is an open question. It seems as though, at least right now, it was Admiral Bradley, and whether or not the Secretary of Defense knew it, there is a lot of questions, and investigation is ongoing. But let me tell you something, this is very serious. And it really shows that the United States potentially killed 2 people who were not armed, had no threat to the United States, a clear violation of the international laws of war, assuming we're in a war. And if we're not in a war, which that's also an open question of what that means, then this would be amount to murder. And it comes as the Signalgate Inspector General's report has been released, and there are 2 major findings I want to read with you. The first, we concluded that the Secretary, referring to Pete Hegseth, sent sensitive, non-public operational information that he didn't determine did not require classification over the signal chat on his personal cell phone. The Secretary is the head original classification authority in the DoD based on Executive Order 13526 and DoD Manual 5200.45, and holds the authority to determine the required classification level of all DoD information he communicates. However, because the Secretary indicated that he used a signal application on his personal cell phone to send non-public DoD information, we conclude that the Secretary's actions did not comply with DoD Instruction 8170.01, which prohibits using a personal device for official business and using a non-approved commercially available messaging application to send non-public DoD information. The Secretary sent non-public DoD information identifying the quantity and strike times of manned U.S. aircraft over hostile territory over an unapproved, unsecure network approximately 2 to 4 hours before the execution of those strikes, using a personal cell phone to conduct official business and send non-public DoD information through Signal, risks potential compromise of sensitive DoD information, which could cause harm to DoD personnel and mission objectives. I spoke to...
Which could, let me make sure my mic is on. let's be clear. This is the conclusion, which could cause harm to DoD personnel and mission objective. Why did I want to share this with you? If any of you have been watching me, you know I have played this for you several times. Where is this Vindman? Where is Vindman? Let me find this right quick. Hold on one second. I have it.
Back. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. Bindeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I ask unanimous consent to submit for the record an article. A distinguished member of this committee,
without objection, so ordered,
confirmed that there was, in fact, a pause in offensive cyber operations earlier this year. The SecDef just denied this. This committee deserves to know whether the Secretary just lied. Mr. Secretary, many believed you were underqualified for this role. You've been Secretary for 4.5 months now. For the sake of the American people and our service members, I hope you've done your homework since. Let's talk Indo-PACOM. What year has the Navy publicly set as the benchmark for being ready to fight a war with China?
Well, it needs to be right now. We know what China has said.
I'm glad to hear that, but there is a publicly set date.
Well, we know it wouldn't be prudent for me in this environment to reveal when we think we're ready. That's what
you don't know the date. You don't know the date. We know it wouldn't be prudent right now for me to say.
China has said, and we understand what they're saying.
I
And
asked
we want
for
to
a
be
year,
capable and ready for it.
not a filibuster. 2027 is the year. According to
it wouldn't be appropriate for you to say in this setting. He just told you 2027. Okay, let's
classified DoD assessments. How many warships does China have in its Navy today?
Many and growing.
370. It's the largest Navy in the world. How many does the U.S. Navy have today?
Thanks to this budget, it's increasing
it's a number.
substantially.
I'm looking for a number.
But it's just south of 300.
A dummy.
296, pretty close. How many ships is China expected to field by 2030?
I believe that's a classified number, but it's going to go up at a rapid rate.
CMPR report that was released. There's an unclassified number.
It's going up at a rapid rate.
Let me help you out. 435. Let's see if we do better in EUCOM.
A dummy. I don't know his job. He's been in the job for 4 months. Unqualified.
What corridor in eastern Poland is vulnerable and a priority for U.S. reinforcements? It connects Belarus to a Russian region.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can tell you. It's the Suwalki Gap. Which heavily militarized Russian territory connected the Suwalki Gap?
Wait a minute. I'm sure you can tell me. Was his answer? The question was for you to tell him, though.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can't do better in EUCOM. What corridor in eastern Poland is vulnerable and a priority for U.S. reinforcements? It connects Belarus to a Russian region.
I'm sure you can tell me.
I can tell you. It's the Suwalki Gap. Which heavily militarized Russian territory connected the Suwalki Gap? It contains nuclear-capable missiles. It threatens all of NATO. It's right there in the middle of Eastern Europe.
I see we're playing a quiz game here.
It's
ultimately,
Kaliningrad
thankfully,
Oblast.
we're getting our NATO allies to step up in their spending.
Thankfully, you're filibustering, and we see that you are not prepared for this job, even though you have your little American flag pocket square in your pocket, trying to dress the part because you have none of these things that this man back here has. All of these pins for doing outstanding service in the military. You have your pocket square. Okay.
To make sure that they can hold the
Mr.
line.
Secretary, I asked you a specific question. Thank you. It's Kaliningrad Oblast. So what percentage of Ukrainian frontline casualties, let's talk drones, are now caused by FPV drones?
A very large percentage, and we're studying that conflict closely to understand.
I hope so.
That fact.
It's over 70%. And which U.S. service has written doctrine or standardized procurement for integration of FPV drones?
That's the Army.
I wish that were the case, but actually the answer is none of them. So we're not.
A dummy. He was so sure of that. That's the Army.
Not prepared yet, and we need to get there fast. Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over.
Now, this is what I want you to hear. He asked him a particular straightforward question about a mother who wrote, who is his constituent, who wrote him a letter because her son was a pilot that had to fly that bombing mission where Keg Breath was giving out all of the classified information over an unsecured site. I just had to indulge you in his ignorance before this straightforward question where it has been investigated, and they said that he could have caused loss of life on that mission. So this was how long was this? The strike was in March. This was 5 months ago. 5 months ago. He was asked this, knowing that he lied and said that he didn't give classified information. First, it was fake news. He didn't give classified information. So now we are clear that he gave classified information, and he was clear when he got busted with a whole motherfucking editor of the Atlantic on the signal call that he was giving classified information, giving the times and what type of planes and what they would be dropping. How could that not be classified information? And now we know he has been deemed that he gave classified information over an unsecured site about a strike on people who had anti-aircraft machines that could have shot this plane down. He's asked one simple question about this. One simple question.
Yet, and we need to get there fast. Let me turn to a different topic. A few weeks ago, when my office opened up in Fredericksburg, I spoke to the mother of one F-18 pilot who flew the March 15th mission over the Red Sea in Yemen that you discussed over Signal. I spoke to her again on Tuesday and asked her if there was anything she wanted me to bring up. She believes that you need to resign. She also had several questions, but one thing, she said she would appreciate an apology for putting classified information. Her son couldn't even tell her where the Truman was going, but into the Houthi PC small group signal chat that risked her son's life and the mission. Mr. Secretary, yes or no, do you think you owe her an apology?
Please make sure to let her know how grateful we are for the skill and heroism.
I am very much grateful. I'm sure everybody in this room is grateful. I'm proud of what her son has done. The question is, do you owe her an apology for your actions? Are you going to be accountable?
It was an incredibly successful mission. Her son did great work.
They did a magnificent job.
Thankfully, the Houthi campaign was successful.
Secretary, I agree with you. Magnificent job. The performance of those pilots and Navy personnel, magnificent. We're talking about what you did and accountability. Are you going to apologize to the mother or not?
I don't apologize for success.
You had no success. That pilot had this success. I don't apologize for success. When this is who we are to believe that is not creating war crimes. This is what he said to the mother who was so fucking pissed that you put her son's life in danger by running your motherfucking mouth over an unsecure app, and her son could have been shot down by people who had the capabilities of shooting her son down. And you refuse to apologize, trying to act as if you did something so great and so grand. And why were they over there striking the Houthis in the first place? Why were they over there striking the Houthis in the first place? Why was the America First administration over there doing strikes for the Houthis? But because the Houthis were trying to make a point to Israel about the a genocide that they were wrecking in Gaza. That's why. And they were shooting at boats and not letting boats go through that section of the Red Sea. What did that have to do with America? What did that have to do with America? Huh? And he put her son's life in jeopardy, flying a mission to aid Israel. But he won't apologize for putting her son's life in danger. Talking about he doesn't apologize for success when he's an abject failure. Okay. Can we move on? Can we move on? That's what I wanted to share with you. There are a couple of more things I would like to share with you as well. Letitia James. Oh, and let's not forget our Supreme Court, the Unsupreme Court. Now, a judge ruled that Texas could not use their map, but of course, our white nationalist Supreme Court has decided that yes, they can use that map that was gerrymandered upon race. The reason it was deemed that they could not use the Texas map is because it was gerrymandered upon race. But let's be clear. Brett, not Brett. What is his name? Uh, Not Brett Kavanaugh. Oh, the lead Supreme Court Justice. What is his name? Oh God, I'm having a brain fart. He has been against Article 2 of the Civil Rights Act since he was a law clerk. He has been trying to get rid of that since he was a law clerk. So while they say the merit of the judge was all fine and good, but allegedly we were not supposed to make any changes to now, and it was not clear what the judge wanted them to do. He wanted them to not be able to use the jerry rig map. He wanted them to have to use the already jerry rig map that they were using prior to them jerry rigging the map further upon 4547's request. So the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, acted as if they weren't clear what the judge wanted them to do. If he wouldn't allow them to use that map, you're not clear on what you want them to do. If they don't use that map, that means they have to use their old map. They were very clear on what. So let's take this up for a full briefing. And, you know, it is too close to the elections to do any changes to the map. You know, we're not supposed to make any changes. Well, we weren't supposed to make any changes to the map into the next census. The election is in November of next year. This is what your Supreme Court is allowing Texas to use their jerry-rigged map based upon those bases. Now, I want to talk to you also. You know, they threw out the case, the They tried to bring another case on Letitia James about this alleged mortgage fraud. Let's see how that went. Let me share this with you. Now the case was already thrown out because they had an unqualified person who brought the case, Lindsay Halligan. But they have taken another bite at the apple, trying to bring her up on charges of alleged mortgage fraud. Let's see how that worked out.
Good evening. I'm Alex Brachet in Washington, and we begin with some breaking news. Sources tell ABC News that a federal grand jury in Virginia has rejected the Department of Justice's attempt to revive a fraud case against New York Attorney General Letitia James. Sources also say that federal prosecutors failed to convince a majority of grand jurors to approve charges that James misled a bank for favorable terms on a home mortgage. ABC News previously reported that prosecutors who investigated James for possible mortgage fraud found evidence that appeared to undercut some of the allegations in her September indictment. So for more on this, I want to bring in our Washington, D.C. Bureau Managing Editor, Catherine Valders, and also ABC News legal contributor and professor at Hofstra Law, James Sample. And Catherine, I want to begin with you. What more do we know about this grand jury rejecting the DOJ's attempt to revive this fraud case?
So remember, it was just days ago that a judge threw out the charges against New York Attorney General Letitia James because the judge found that the U.S. attorney there, Lindsay Halligan, Trump's former defense attorney, now U.S. attorney, that the judge found that her appointment to be a U.S. attorney was invalid. So the cases were thrown out, both of Tish James and former FBI Director James Comey. Now, we knew from sources that prosecutors would try and indict the case again. We do know that it wasn't Lindsay Halligan, the U.S. attorney, who presented the charges again. It was another person who was working on the case to potentially, obviously, make the charges valid if they were to be charged and if the grand jury were to return an indictment. So we know that down in Norfolk, Virginia, a grand jury met today and received a presentment of charges related to bank fraud. So those similar charges that we know were thrown out, and that the grand jury declined to return the indictment. So they voted essentially no on the charges. We don't know what that vote is, but it definitely is a blow to the Justice Department as they continue to attempt to prosecute people who Trump has said or perceived to be his political enemies. So that's at least what we know so far. Now, that does not mean, Alex, that they won't attempt to try and re-indict again. Will they go to a grand jury again? Will they go to another grand jury in the Eastern District of Virginia? This was in Norfolk. There's another one in Alexandria. All these things are still on the table from sources that I'm talking to. But what we know right now is that federal prosecutors tried to get an indictment returned, tried to bring these charges again, and were unsuccessful.
So as they were told by the person who came before the illegally appointed Lindsay Halligan, there was no case. Now, after Lindsay Halligan has been approved to be an illegal person to sit in that seat, and they got the case thrown out, they have gone at it again, and they could not bring a case. So are we done with Letitia James? Why is Letitia? Jasmine Crockett District is gone, by the way. Okay, if you assume that her district is gone. So do you think that the Republicans are thrilled with the way this administration is going? Okay. So we must gerrymander seats based on race. We must. This administration must depend on racism to block the will of the people. Okay, I got you. I got you. Thank you, Z Sarah. Now, so are we done trying to persecute Letitia James, the one who successfully brought charges and a conviction against 4547? Oh, no, we're not. Now, I hear the media are talking a lot about that case, but I don't hear the media talking a lot about the case that's going upstate New York. Let me share this with you right quick. This link is going to be in my description box. You guys may not be familiar with this case. Hold on one second. Here we go. There's another case against Letitia James.
Adam Classfeld. Adam, you are outside of the courtroom where the Trump administration is attempting its second go to take down Letitia James, the New York Attorney General. In their first effort, that case was dismissed because they had an improperly appointed prosecutor, Lindsay Halligan. Can you explain what happened in court today and what this case is regarding?
So I am standing right now in front of federal court in snowy Albany, New York. It is actually snowing where I am right now, where what is happening is that Letitia James, just an hour or so ago, her attorneys were in federal court to quash a grand jury subpoena by another Trump-appointed loyalist, former campaign lawyer named John Sarcone, who opened a different grand jury investigation where he sent 2 subpoenas to the office of Letitia James, hoping to rummage through her case files to see whether by filing 2 successful lawsuits when she sued Trump, his family members, and his business empire, and successfully brought a civil fraud case, and when she brought a successful lawsuit against the NRA, whether that amounted to a civil rights investigation. So what happened?
So he wants to rummage through her case file. We remember in the mortgage thing, Ed Martin, he actually stalked her house and went and took pictures out in front of her house because he needed to see her house. And since she had this case, he needed to comb through everything in her life. A fishing expedition is what it was called. I played that to you many a times. So now we have this going on.
And in court just behind me was a federal judge is considering whether to quash those subpoenas on the grounds that John Sarcone, like Lindsay Halligan, and like 3 other U.S. attorneys appointed by Trump, was unlawfully appointed. So if she agrees that John Sarcone was unlawfully appointed, she could quash those subpoenas that were written under the title acting U.S. attorney and disqualify John Sarcone from the case and from that office.
Adam, even if this prosecutor was properly appointed, which it doesn't sound like he was, but even if he was, what's the statute on which they're trying to get this thing pushed forward? I mean, it sounds like they're taking issue with the fact that Letitia James targeted politicians who had engaged in wrongdoing. That doesn't strike me as being illegal.
Right. You know, they are trying to turn 2 successful cases into a possible federal civil rights violation, that she was arguably violating the rights of the NRA when she found and a jury agreed that the NRA was wasting donor money under New York charity law, and that when a judge agreed.
As they sit and violate the rights of Black voters. This link is in my description box. I have to move on. You can hear more explanations about this. Let's see the saga of Sarcone. Who is he? Now, Sarcone allegedly lives in New York City now, but it's odd that Sarcone gave an address when he was reappointed. He was an interim U.S. attorney, and then he was reappointed as U.S. attorney. You know, the same thing that 4547 did with Lindsay Halligan, and in New Jersey with Alina Habba. All of these illegal appointments to go after his enemies. Okay, let's find out a little bit.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task
About
unless you have
Sarcone.
Potential savings will vary.
Here with some more from inside the newsroom here at the Times-Union.
This week, John Sarcone was named acting U.S. Attorney for New York's Northern District. The move by the Justice Department came after a panel of federal judges declined to appoint Sarcone to the role permanently. I'm going to throw now to our editor-in-chief, Casey Seiler, for more.
Hi, I'm Casey Seiler, editor of the Times-Union, and I'm happy to be joined by our intrepid managing editor for investigations and Capitol Bureau Chief, Brendan Lyons. Brendan, let's offer a primer on the matter at hand. Who is John A. Sarcone III, and what is the Northern District of New York?
Okay, so John Sarcone is an attorney from Westchester County who had previously been part of Trump's team back in 2016 during that election, a favorite among some of the people who work on behalf of the Trump administration in New York. And because of a resignation earlier this year by U.S. Attorney Carla Friedman, who was ahead of the 32-county Northern District, which is one of several federal districts across the state of New York, and there was a vacancy created. Sarcone was appointed in March to be the interim U.S. Attorney. Pam Bondi made that appointment, and because it was an interim appointment, he was in that job for 120 days, which had been a rather colorful experience.
So to skip ahead to the last couple of weeks of that 4-month appointment, Sarcone was menaced by an undocumented migrant, gentleman from El Salvador, outside of a hotel in downtown Albany. That turned into a national story. The migrant was initially charged with attempted murder. It was later reduced to misdemeanor charges. He pleaded guilty, is now serving 90 days in Albany County Jail and is likely going to be deported. But in an affidavit that Mr. Sarcone filed after that incident, he gave an address in downtown Albany as his residence, and you ended up doing a story on that claim. Can you summarize it for our listeners?
So yeah, that incident in mid-June occurred when John Sarcone, interestingly, was strolling around downtown around 10 o'clock at night on a weeknight. Some people had asked me in the previous weeks and months that he was here.
Okay, I'm in a rush. What happened? He lied in the affidavit about this undocumented person in New York City, and about the home. He gave an address, and when this reporter went to the address, the building was boarded up. All the windows and all of the doors were boarded up. And when he reported on the place had to be unlivable, and it was in a sketchy part of town, and it was obviously unlivable. When they have reports that Sarcone did not live at this address, but he was staying in hotels. He wrote the article, and Sarcone took his newspaper off of the list of reporters who would be notified anytime there were any press releases that came out of his office. And then when he realized 2 weeks later he was getting no press releases, he went to the office and they reinstated his press release that he would get releases. And he said, "Did you do that because I reported on your home?" And he said, "I do live there." And he picked up the phone and called someone who said that he was the owner of the alleged house, and that the house was totally refurbished on the inside all the way through, and everything was brand new in the house, and they were just waiting on a couple of more things to come in, when in fact the house was absolutely unlivable. So let's get into the lie that Sarcone told about this migrant who this migrant who almost unalived him, who threatened him real bad. You know how Stump Down said, real bad.
Said it in the press release and on the Fox and Friends. I knew this guy was dangerous. I could tell. And growing up around the streets of New York in the 60s, 70s, I know bad when I see it. So rather than just turn and keep walking, I said, let me just go and watched this guy for a little bit, and then as soon as I was there, I didn't even look at him. I was just standing in front of the Hilton, looking straight ahead, and he screamed at me, and I don't turn, and he keeps screaming. And then finally, when I saw him walking towards me, I turned, still didn't say a word, just watching, and then the knife came out, and he went like this, and then charged at me. So it was nerve. I mean, it was frightening. And then I ran, got to the lobby. Before I walked in, he was turned around and was walking away, and that's when I called the sheriff, and I went out to the sidewalk to engage him, to keep him in the area, because I knew that someone was going to be severely injured, if not killed, that night in the streets of Albany. Now, this individual, okay, had been deported in 2010. I'm not going to say what the crime was, because it's horrific, but it's of moral turpitude, and you can look that one up.
Yeah, we're gonna look that moral turpitude up. Let's see some body cam footage of this night, and let's see if the body cam, if the footage matches up to this story. This is who's filing more charges on Letitia James. This person. So he's afraid now. He's afraid, and he's going back in. I thought that the guy was actually right up on him. So he's afraid, and he's doing what afraid Karens usually do. Let's see what afraid Karens usually do when you're so afraid. So are we making our story? He was afraid for his life. He never went inside. He didn't. He never put his cigarette out. He's afraid, though. And now let's see what this afraid man does in fear of his life. He never said anything to him. Do you think he's not saying anything to him now? And he goes back over on a mission with the phone up to his ear, like the Karen he is, calling the cop. He's not saying anything to him. He's not saying anything to him. Not saying anything to him. He wanted to engage him to keep other people safe. He's not saying anything to him. This is he still hasn't put his cigarette out. Anything. This man who is so in fear of his life. Let's see what happens now. He's not saying anything to him. He didn't engage him. He didn't engage him at all. Oh, now he's a badass. Oh, you going all the way down to the street, but you're afraid for your life. Now look at the bitch running now. Oh, now you running. You could have stayed where you were in the first place. Oh, now you coming back. You coming back? You just ran. You bad or what? Are you bad or are you a bitch? Oh, you running again? You running again? You're in fear of your life? Oh, you're coming back again? This is who I just wanted to give you guys this information. Who is filing charges on Letitia James once again. So there we have that. Thank you guys for being here. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button and come back and visit me again. I have to run. I had more things that I wanted to share with you, but time has gotten the best of me. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day, and please do not forget to meet me here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that will be noon Pacific Time for our Secret Santa, where content creators give back to the subscribers. So that's not the one. I hope I see you then. And until then, have a great remainder of your day. Don't forget to meet me back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Shh. What are you barking for? What are you barking at? It ain't even nobody. Saucy. I can't even find my Secret Santa. Here it is. Come back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Secret Santa, where we will be giving gifts between $30 and $50. He said, come on. I thought you said you were leaving. All right, guys. Have a great remainder of your day. I'm out of here. Thank you for being here. Please hit the like button. Thank you, Z Sarah. I appreciate you. All right, bye-bye.
It's time for Ronnie Q.